Hey guys, K420 back again with the video. A little late, a little late, a little late. I know. I wanted to do this yesterday. I actually didn't watch this the night it premiered. I was working on some personal things. So I'm sorry. I'm a day late, dollar short. I'm sure I will hear it. I'm just kidding. Thank you for all your support, especially on these videos. They can get, and back when I did YouTube before, they could get really nasty, and it was my main reason for leaving YouTube. So, um, excuse me. Let's get that out of the way now. I don't want to hear any comments about my sickness. Okay, I'm just kidding. This is about the MTV True Life Crimes on Kenneka Jenkins. My thoughts. I did a predictions of what I thought would be and would not be in the hour-long episode. Everyone knows that if you show clips or blah blah blah, they'll not only demonetize, which I do not. My channel's not monetized. You can tell because you've never seen an ad. If you have, let me know because I swear someone has put in my comments that they've seen ads, and if that's the case, I screen record it so I can screw over YouTube. There's lawsuit city, cha-ching. No, they've just done everything they can to. Oh, there goes the dogs. Okay, let's start. So this is what we're talking about. Real quick, touch base. You can go check this out if you haven't seen it yourself. If you haven't seen it, I don't know why you would have clicked on this video because you really wouldn't understand even what I'm talking about. So I believe it's mtv.com and it's / true life crime blah 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 dash accident. You can see the URL up here at the top. Season 1, episode 1, and the thing is it's complete. It's free, so no worries. But we're gonna skip over and we're gonna go on to the producer, creator, director, whatever. Domati Pongo. Sorry, he actually has a pronunciation in his stuff here. I saw it yesterday. I wanted to know about him a little bit more because you hear this thing about the Renaissance, and he's a Renaissance man, but so on and so forth. He used to be a newscaster, and or actually he was like a manager at like I see a Target type thing, TJ Maxx, Target, something like that. And he made it all the way to here. But in between that, he was a newscaster, whatnot. And now he is some voice of the Renaissance. Anyway, I went scrolling. I wanted to see if there's anybody in this case that he's been involved with prior. Who is there any connection to this case that maybe drew him particular in, or did MTV just pick this case? Did they allow him to pick it? Was he influenced by anyone else? We obviously know that some of the people that are in the documentary are no longer alive. However, that was never mentioned during the documentary. So let's just scroll. Bam, we don't have to go far. So I kind of figured, based on some rumors that happened right after Zach was killed, that there were some rumors in the beginning that Zach was killed because he was talking to media about the Kenneka case. He was talking to MTV in specific. It was a specific, Zach is working on an MTV documentary regarding Kenneka Jenkins, and that is why he was killed. Now, we obviously have heard pretty much, months after everything settled down, it came out. He shot a video of the ops dissing another gang's dead brother, whatever, and therefore they felt like because Zach put the video out, he produced it and put it out on YouTube, that he was also dissing that dead person. So therefore, that's why his life was taken. However, at the beginning, it had been mentioned that his involvement in this documentary was the reason his life was taken. So we can say that somewhere around the first anniversary of Kenneka's passing, Kenneka Jenkins passing, right around that area, because Zach didn't die only, shortly, a month, not days, I believe. We'll get to that after that. And he was in this documentary. So I mean, this documentary had to take place in that first 12 months, I think. So my next question is, why now? Why are you dropping it now? Well, the mother's in the middle of a $50 million lawsuit. what is like I started to see some things as I watched the full documentary. I'm sure some other people saw. I'm not the only one. Let's get into it. First of all, did anybody but me ask this question 2 minutes into this video? Did anybody else ask who the F is Nicole Luciano? Because, or excuse me, Nikki Luciano. I've got her name spelled as it was spelled on screen. I Googled her with Kenneka Jenkins, and this is what's come up. Okay, I want you to see this. The only thing that comes up, this was supposed to be a internet sleuth. She was a main person. His exact words were she was one of the main people investigating what happened to Kenneka in the days after the incident. Now, I'm not trying to grab for credit here or grasp for straws because that was never my intention. My intention was to call attention to this case because I have daughters and it hit me personally. And so I know that I give credit to people like Mac and Jimmy. I give credit to Beach Beauty 35. I give credit to straight drop for to a certain extent. Anyway, sorry. And many other YouTubers whose heart was in the right place and who were willing to spend night after night after night after night going over tedious parts of this case to try to find where the pieces added up. So, as you see, the only thing that we see comes up on Google with Nikki Luciano is the true life crime. Okay. Nothing else when you connect it with Kenneka Jenkins. Now, for instance, if you type in the same thing, only use my YouTube channel in place of that, Kat30420, Kenneka Jenkins. Now, you're not going to get just my videos. You're going to get the numerous people who made videos about me. And so I just don't understand how Dometi Pongo says that he went to her because she was one of the main people investigating her at the time, and that people were going to watch. I'm not out here saying, okay, look, I had 100 videos on Kenneka Jenkins. Why didn't you come talk to me? No, I had not just all the video. I had the people. I earned over 11,000 subs in 60 days, specifically on this case. So I feel like my work was rewarded in that way. However, I don't mind this. You know what? I'm Kat30420. I keep it real. I believe the reason that I wasn't contacted or I was never asked to be involved in this is because there's quite a bit of undertone of race in this entire documentary. And for probably some part of it is for a good reason, I believe. I believe that there was a certain way that Teresa Martin may have been treated upon coming into Crown Plaza, upon, starting to knock on doors and things like that. She was looked at as the angry Black woman. And so therefore she wasn't helped as if as a white crying mother may have been. Get it? Got it. Okay. What I'm saying is that didn't have anything to do with how much effort I put into researching this case and how much time and emotions that I had behind this case. So as you can see, the first part of the documentary saying Nikki Luciano, blah, 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 doesn't really add up. She doesn't even have a single video or any posts that come up connecting her to Kenneka Jenkins. However, you can scroll through here and see page after page of my videos, Kenneka Jenkins, the Kenneka Chronicles, Kat30420 returns to set the record straight. Planet of the Fakes, Kat30420. Yeah, they got mad at me. I'm sorry. They'll never forgive me. Just it goes on and on. I'm on Lipstick Alley, a YouTuber named Kat30420, whose videos are now deleted. This was in October of 2017. But if you notice, you click on this girl actually has some of those deleted videos. Those videos had to be deleted in order for me to retain my YouTube channel. So let's get to business. I wanted to just come here first because I want you to see on a regular, everyday web, a site, or excuse me, a post that came out at the time, not some like gossipy blogger site, not some right, left. This is about as middle of the road as you can get, okay? And I want you to see something so that you know that in more than one place, this was the set time. Because the first thing that I come across after this Nikki situation, sorry. You get graded. Okay. Oh, prior to me moving on, why is the only thing that Nikki Luciano girl brought up, she only thing she pointed to when asked about when they referred to her in the case was the Facebook group with almost 100,000 people. The Facebook group that I exposed. Oh, I'm the one that exposed it to the family. Teresa Martin thanked me personally in a post that I shared. That Facebook group was created by a man portraying to be black, portraying to be part of the community, and wanted to start this group to help the family, whatever. And what he really was a white chef named Marcel Korupka, went by the AKA Marcel Miller. He's a white chef. He works at a hotel in Dubai. Why would a white chef, head chef, very well-known chef, travel city to city all over the world? Why would he, and he glaringly made an obscene post about how idiots went to this page, and these people who thought this girl, that were stupid enough to believe this girl was dead. I shared it in my recent video on the update of Kenneka Jenkins, if you want to go check that out. Why was the only thing she mentioned that Facebook group? The Facebook group where Zach Stoner was an original moderator. The Facebook group where later on down the road, Gray Hughes, who I've always had questions about his role in law enforcement, had also become a moderator. This page had multiple instances of fraud. The family denounced this page. This Facebook group, there was a social media experiment going on parallel to whatever this case is and was. That Facebook group is that social media experiment. And good or bad, something is going to come out of that in the future. And I'm not sure what yet, but I think we will find out. I think there's high level traffickers out there that try different things to rope people in, distract them over here with the left hand while you're running off this way with the right type thing. And I believe that's kind of what that was. And I caught that right away when I was sent the information that the profile picture was of a black man with a pit bull. If you Googled it, it was a what do you call it? A regular pic that comes up in Google Images, and it goes all the way back. The original post comes from Germany, from what's their version of the CIA. We exposed all that live on my channel. They didn't bring that up in the documentary. Now, next part is, at what time, again, was Kenneka Jenkins' body found? If you don't know, according to the information that was published from the beginning, and according to the security footage that matches up to that information. As you can see right here, hotel staff and management searched the hotel and discovered Jenkins' body inside the freezer at 12:24 a.m. September 10th, police say. This was my main argument. Metadata cannot be manipulated. It is the original fingerprint. It's the original footprint of your movement on the web, on your phone, on whatever it is, whatever device you're. So when they provided us, and I have the best news, guys. I went to the Rosemont website last night. I thought, shot in the dark, because for about 6 months Rosemont pulled that. It's a huge file. The Jenkins file is huge. And when we first FOIA requested it, Freedom of Information Act requested it, people like Gray Hughes got it. I don't mark my words. I think Beach Beauty may have got it, but I'm not 100% positive. I'm sorry if you were one of the people that originally got it and released it. I know there was one person who wasn't really trying to be popular, but he knew how to do the paperwork quickly online. And so I almost believe he was the first. His name was Matt. He was one of the first ones to actually release that file. Anywho, I went to Rosemont's website last night. Guess what I found? Yeah, the file's on there. Problem is, in order to bring up the files on my like this, because I'm using Chrome right now, I'd have to somehow, I'm not good at that, guys. I'm not good at bringing stuff from Windows over into Chrome while I'm using the screen. I'm going to be honest. I've taught myself as I go here. I use a kindergarten screen recorder. I mean, it could not possibly be any more easy for me to do the videos I do. If it was harder, I don't know if I could do it. I'm learning as I go, and I don't have a lot of time to teach myself because I just want to produce content. So listen to this. Instead of them blurry old photos I showed you in the prediction video, I took new pictures. Check them out. All this time later, why you say, did Rosemont not change this? Because they can't. Because you can't manipulate the metadata. You can't do it. It's going to be there. Now, first of all, Kenneka Jenkins, missing, right? You got an officer probably in the security room viewing the security footage, and they're tracking her throughout the hotel, they say, during the day of the 9th, or from the night of the 9th, day of the 10th. Okay, so all day, all night, even going to evening, that night, even police involved, the staff everyone's looking. You can see them on security footage looking. Why is the coroner loading up their footage at, hang on, time 101? So 0101 military time would be 101 p.m. Okay, so no, it would be, you're right. This is 101 a.m. So this would have been after, this would have been written after the body was found. However, if you come over here, and every single picture that was taken is connected, because the camera the coroner uses is connected to their system where they keep the metadata and the file information on each picture. Picture taken, click, all the information gets stored. This picture is taken and it shows that DC 0001, that's the name of the file. If you go to the website and you click on the evidence photos and so on and so forth, you're going to date taken September 10th, 2017. At what time? 12:14 a.m. 10 minutes before a body was found, the coroner was writing 101 on this and taking a picture of it. Okay. Why? You hadn't found a dead body yet. There wasn't a crime yet. Why? This isn't the what do you want to call it? This one might seem a little funny, something a little silly here. The next one's gonna really make you go, wait a minute. Okay. I'm just doing them in order so you can see. So now we're at the same thing, but now we're at 0025. There is a bunch of pictures of the building in between that. No, I'm sorry. Yes, it is 25. Okay, so it's file number 0025. At September 10th, 2017, at 12:22, before the security officer with the before the hotel manager with the white dress shirt and tie on and the keys in his hand, walked through that kitchen and walked down that hall where we couldn't see him, but we know that he had to use a key, even though he claims he didn't, to unlock that freezer because he had them in his hand. Why did you have your keys in your hand when you walked down the hall? And why were they at your side when you came back? Anywho, he walked down that hall and he had to unlock that freezer, and he opened the door and he walked as casually as can be back up that hall to go get himself an officer without even he didn't run. He wasn't yelling. He didn't have his hands on his face. There was no look of shock. It was just as casual as if somebody had left the door open and he was, who left the door open? But he had supposedly found a body. And at that time, the security camera marked 12:24 a.m. So why at 12:22 is the coroner already here. The entire scene is already taped off. The police have taken all evidence that they need to take. The coroner is the very last person to deal with anything. They don't come on scene until the police have had their entire investigation, all their evidence taken off, so that the coroner doesn't move things without it being recorded already, right? So how at 12:22 was this picture taken? I'll remind you. Hotel staff management searched the hotel and discovered Jenkins in the freezer at 12:24. Okay? One more. Just to make sure you understand. 1 minute later, while the man was off getting a police officer, while they weren't even back to the freezer yet, apparently the coroner was there taking a second picture of Kenneka's body. Can someone please stop denying this and talk about this part? Stop giving me black versus police, black versus white, all these narratives that you think you want, the public wants to hear because of the nature of what's going on in our culture right now, in our country right now. You think division is what we want, that we're hungry for that. What we want are answers. What we want is to know why your metadata says 12:25 a.m. You're standing in front of a dead body, taking a picture, which is the final part of your investigation, when you told the public, and according to the security camera, she wasn't even found only 60 seconds before. That would have been nice, MTV. It would have been nice to know that two of the people who played a major part in this documentary, who were a major part of investigating the death of Kenneka, are dead now, and their killers have not been found or prosecuted. One, obviously, being Kenneka's uncle, the one who tattooed her name above his eye. Jonathan, the middle name is wrong. His name is Jonathan Curtis Jackson, according to his birth certificate, with a K. He was shot, gun violence, J Money, it says. Obviously, we know that. No, he was going to find out what happened to his niece. R.I.P. to both y'all. Okay, you know what I mean? It's there. Now, why didn't Dometi Pongo bring that up? Would have made the accident theory that he's about to push to you at the end of this more feasible? Like, would it have made it less believable if you found out two people that were investigating the case are now dead? Would that have made you think maybe he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about? Because it would have me. Quiet! Sorry, my dogs. Zip it, Karma. Sorry. Anywho, jeez. They just don't know when I'm recording. I think I get too loud and they bark at me is what's happening. But anyway, obviously the second person who died is the picture in the person with Dometi Pongo at the beginning of this video, and that is Zach Stoner. So are you going to tell me that he didn't think it was necessary 2 years after doing this documentary? I don't know why it took 2 years for him to put it out. However, you don't think it was, or 18 months to put it out. You didn't think it was necessary in the documentary while talking to to put it in there. This person has been killed days after the anniversary of this case. Right here, days after the anniversary of Kenneka's death, Chicago faces another devastating loss. It would have, and they celebrate birthday. Kenneka Jenkins' 20th birthday party is. I just throw your purple on and donate some money. Sorry, I shouldn't say that. I just find it so corny the way that they are handling things, because we don't have answers. I don't have the answers. Why is this video that we just watched, MTV True Life Crime, the first time in 3 years that you, me, and the rest of the world knew Kenneka had 2 jobs? Why were we only ever told about McDonald's? Every time her mother talked about her, go back to every live if there's any of them left, and tell yourself, this woman only talks about how she met her friends at her job, McDonald's. She was going to nursing school. She did bring that up. I will not deny that. But that woman never brought up the second job. And they still didn't say what it was. Did you notice that? Because if you find out that girl worked at Chicago O'Hare Airport and that 6 minutes from Rosemont. You know, that may explain why she had a second ticket in her car, because that may not have been her first, second, or third time at that hotel. Her friend Monifa was selling herself on Backpage at these hotels. Okay, this is not something that, yes, I get they went to these hotels because it was safer than partying in the inner city of Chicago. But guess what? It's also where girls sold their ass to men, and their friends. Bree, who happened to be in this video. Nice to see you, Bree. I'm sorry about the tears, but Bree was one of the ones selling rooms to so people for by the hour. Okay, and that all had to do with Backpage. And suddenly, what happened? November after this case, Backpage. Good night. Backpage went down. The feds came in, shut the website down. You didn't hear anything else. After all those girls that were trafficked, parents begged and begged and begged and begged and begged. Nothing would happen. This case happens. The minute people start bringing up posters made of all these girls having hotel parties for back and advertising it on Backpage, boom, Backpage is gone. We don't talk about that in this documentary either. What else don't we talk about? We don't talk about how Kenneka's mother told everybody to stop protesting and accused the freedom fighters, or the people who created the protest, started the protest, got the protest moving, got, had the activists who were involved in the community, said that they had set up a donation thing under false pretenses. She was under the understanding that the money was going to go to help bury her child, and to come to find out, it was going, $26,000 of it went to the Freedom Fund. Freedom Fund, you say? The Freedom Fund is what they use to bail out their activists if they get arrested at protests. Ooh, sorry. Miss Martin was not a happy camper. $26,000 because I've come to shouted out at her own page, collect donations to that night during that protest. But instead of shouting her own out, she kept shouting theirs out because they were, they had put together the protest. When she realized at the end that she had made them $26,000 and she hadn't barely made bank at all to bury her kid, and and the donation thing, GoFundMe, whatever she had set up, she started to call out that everything was a scam. There was GoFundMe scams, the protesters scammed her, everybody scammed her, and it was over. She said, "No more protests." Get it? I just feel like that was one of the corniest moves that was not brought up. And last but not least, I believe that the biggest thing that this documentary did, and why it came out in this series, episode of this series or whatever, because it's an 8-episode series, and because the True Life is a separate show than True Life Crime. So I believe that what the purpose of this episode was to continue further push the division, not just the division between law enforcement and but to blacks in in the community, but to push the division in amongst us. They noticed that we're at a vulnerable place in time, and you have some very influential people like Dometi Pongo, who I'm sure is not, I'm not saying in any way that he's a bigot or a racist person. That's not what I'm saying at all. What I'm saying is that they use their platforms to shout out the things that they're fighting. And I believe, based on what I read about him, he's fighting, injustice against black by law, or he's really pushing that. And I believe that, just like many of these other cases, if that had not been done from the beginning, if we had if we had stuck together like we were in the beginning, and we hadn't called out who cut what color and what, and we had all just put everything we had in the pot, I almost guarantee we'd have more answers right now than we ever came up with. Anyway, that's it. That's how I feel. I feel like that this video, that this series really, I don't think we got anything more out of it than we have all put together ourselves over the last 3 years. I feel like MTV, and why did you wait 18 months to put it out? If you wanted answers and you want someone to come forward, or you say that, that is, because that's what Dometi says. He says, based on the fact that he was told by the if you notice, they went to a technician who said that the way the file was received as an exe file that means that they could not go back and manipulate the security tape, because every time you take something out, you would leave something in. Like, you take out a person, or you're going to leave in a glitch, whatever. We all know how much glitches we saw in that security footage. What I'm not knowledgeable on is what he means, but this is how he said it. In order to do all that work and then to convert it back to exe, which was what they sent to all of us who requested the file by the Freedom of Information Act, has never been done, so he claims. So for that reason, Dometi Pongo claims that, based on everything else where he was a little that was the information. Don't forget, Donald Stevens III, the police chief, who has 10 members of his family working in different leadership positions in Rosemont. The FBI has been investigating them for contract, for giving contracts to family friends. His family his family alone nets over $25 million. And they created the town of Rosemont back in the 50s with only 89 other people. If you didn't know that, now you do. And they have a extensive history of corruption. That also wasn't in there, Dometi. So basically, you let me down. I gave you more information and answers in my 2 videos, preparing and responding to your documentary, than you gave any of us. If you like my channel, or if you like this video, please hit the like button, share it wherever you can, because of course YouTube is going to suppress, stomp on my video. Because why? Because they know I tell the truth and I'm not driven by money. If I told you what I've got in donations, you'd laugh at me. So if you'd like to support my channel, there's my PayPal, there's my Cash App on the screen, and I appreciate you. Come back. Another video tomorrow. I think it'll be a surprise for everybody, because I get a lot of remarks on this sign behind me, and I had something personal just happen in my life recently that has made me do a lot of thinking, and I need to talk to you guys about it. So, new video coming out tomorrow on a new topic. This was interesting, but not really. Just kidding. It was really shitty. Sorry, Dometi. You didn't tell me anything. So have a good day.